What happens when you simply disappear after you've been dumped? Or you had to dump someone because they cheated on you or took you for granted? What will your ex feel when you give them the breakup and leave them alone? Well, stay tuned and you'll find out. Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back or to get over your ex. And welcome back to my beautiful no contact army. Have you been a good little soldier? Well, if you have, then you've downloaded my app Silencio to help you stay in no contact. And the link for that is underneath every single video and podcast. And if you too would like to join our army, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button and the bell notification and you're in. And to read our manual, go to nocontactsecrets.com where you can read 2 free chapters before you purchase the book. And the link to that is also underneath every single video and podcast. So, what happens when you completely vanish from your ex's life? You don't initiate calls or texts or look at their socials. You don't respond to their insignificant messages. What is your ex going to feel when they realize you're gone, even though that's what they wanted or that's what they thought they wanted? What happens when you flip the script? By the end of this video, you'll understand why walking away and being silent is so powerful. If you're ready to change the way your ex sees you forever, then I want you to comment below with the word forever, and let's get started. So, the first thing your ex is going to feel is the sting of rejection. They never expected you to vanish. In their mind, because you didn't want to break up, they assumed you would always be somewhere there in the background, and they could reach out, whether it's just for friendship, or because they were temporarily missing you, or maybe even because they changed their mind. Your interest level in them was a lot higher than their interest level in you. So they never saw this coming. They never thought you would just disappear. And this isn't just about disappearing physically. It's also about taking with you everything that you provided, whether that was comfort, connection, support, validation, availability, etc., etc. Now they're starting to realize that they no longer have any control over you. You're unpredictable, and people respect what they can't control. People respect what they can't predict. That's why if a grown tiger suddenly walks into the room, you're going to have a lot of respect for that tiger because you have no idea what it's going to do. But if it's a little baby tiger, you won't be so scared. So to make sure that the sting of rejection is felt even deeper, don't give them any warning. Do not tell them what you're going to do. It's going to hit harder because they never saw it coming. Never announce that you're going to go into no contact or that you are in no contact. And don't tell anybody who has access to them what you're up to, no matter how much you trust them, because all it takes is one person to say something, and it could ruin your no contact. After the sting of rejection, they're going to start to feel the emptiness that comes with not having you in their life anymore, even though that's what they wanted or thought they wanted. That's because now there's a void. And how are they going to fill it? Yes, some people will quickly get into a rebound, but those don't usually last. And I talk about that in my video about rebounds. And I will link the video in the upper right-hand corner on YouTube. They probably thought they'd be happier once you left. They didn't count on missing you. Without you, things just are not the same. There's a quote that says, "The chains of habit are too weak to be felt until they're too strong to be broken." Yes, you were their partner, but you were also a habit. They were used to having you around. They thought they could still have some type of contact with you after the breakup. And now they're starting to realize that you meant more to them than they thought you did. Maybe they thought they could distract themselves with work or friends or with someone else, but you will always be in the back of their mind. They'll be wondering how you could just disappear just like that. They never imagined they could feel this way about you after a breakup. Did you ever really care? Have you moved on? Those are the questions they're going to be asking themselves. And question marks, they turn upside down and become a hook. And that hooks them back in and raises their interest level. The more they feel your absence, the more they will start to wonder if maybe they didn't make a mistake by dumping you. Next, we have curiosity. Where the heck are you? What are you doing? Who are you doing it with? Why do you look so happy on social media? Why aren't you posting things on social media to get their attention? Why aren't you posting thirst traps? Why aren't you posting things on social media that are directed at them? They become obsessed with what you're doing because they now have zero access to you, whereas before they had 100% access to you, right? And in the age of social media, this stage is going to be very intense. They'll constantly be checking your socials for clues as to what the heck is going on. Give them nothing. You can either totally go radio silent, or you can carry on posting as normal as if nothing happened, as if there was no breakup. Humans hate the unknown, and their minds are going to start to fill in the gaps and make up stories as to what may have happened. They've now become obsessed with you. Have you moved on? Are you happier without them? They'll become fixated with trying to find the answers to those questions. At this point, they may reach out to mutual friends to find out what's going on. They may not admit they care, and they'll just act as if they're curious, but we know better. They thought they didn't need you, but now they're going out of their way to find out what's going on. The less they know, the more they'll want to know. Most people are so worried that their ex is going to forget them if they do no contact, but meanwhile, it's usually the opposite. They will not be able to stop thinking about you. Next, we have self-reflection. Since they don't have any answers from you as to what's going on with you, they have no option but to turn inwards. So they'll start to second-guess their decision to break up with you. Should they have stayed and tried to make it work? Should they have been more patient? Were they being too harsh? Regret will start to kick in. Now they're alone with their own thoughts, and they have no one to blame but themselves. The more they reflect, the guiltier they'll start to feel. Maybe they were the problem, not you. They may wish they could go back and do things differently. And then the urge to contact you will kick in. That's because the tables have turned, and after their period of self-reflection, it's very possible they've decided they want you back. And this is when they'll send a text like, "I've been thinking about you," or they may start to like your posts or make comments to see if you'll respond, or they'll contact you usually late in the evening when they're feeling especially nostalgic. The tables have now turned, and you hold the power. Congratulations. However, you're still not going to respond because these are essentially breadcrumbs. They don't get to have you back that easily. The more breadcrumbs they send, and the more they see that you're not responding, the more confused they'll be, the more curious they will be, and the more obsessed they'll be. Why aren't you responding? You always responded in the past. What the heck happened? Have they lost you forever? They no longer have the upper hand they thought they did when they unceremoniously kicked you out of their life. Don't give in the moment they start chasing. They need to put in effort in order to get you back. They're not getting you back that easily. You now know your worth. Silence is your most powerful tool. Let them feel the frustration of wanting someone and not easily being able to have them. What happens next is an internal battle between relief and regret. When you initially disappear, it's understandable they may have felt relief. After all, that's what they wanted. That's why they broke up with you. They didn't want you in their life. However, that initial feeling of relief and freedom was short-lived because you disappeared off the face of the earth. That freedom soon turned to emptiness when they realized that you're not easily replaceable. That's why you don't want to respond to breadcrumbs. You want them to sit in that feeling instead of responding and letting them know they have access to you whenever they feel empty. Their relief will be short-lived and will eventually turn to regret if you play your cards right. And once regret enters the picture, they will want to gain back control, but they don't know how. This is when they start to play games, such as blocking and unblocking, looking at your stories but not saying anything, pretending they've moved on, pretending they're happy. They're trying to get you to break no contact. And I've done a whole video on that topic, and I'll put the link in the upper right-hand corner on YouTube. And when they see that they're not getting a reaction, they'll panic even more because they'll realize they no longer have any power over you. This is when they start to make mistakes, or when they finally start to leave significant messages. Fear is what's going to make them come back. This is when they start to think the exact same things that you are thinking. What if I've lost them for good? What if they've forgotten about me? What if we never get back together? What if they found someone better? What if they went back to their ex? What if they start dating that colleague they were always talking about? The thought of losing you to someone else will make them sick. Good. The only thing they can think about is getting you back. This is when they'll reach out. This is when they'll apologize and maybe even beg you to take them back. Or maybe they'll show up at your door or at your work to try to get you to talk to them. And this is your golden moment to shine and to ask them the 6 questions. Never, ever, ever get back with someone who dumped you or who you had to get rid of because they took you for granted or cheated on you without asking them the 6 questions. Because otherwise, there's a good chance they'll break up with you again. And of course, I did a whole video on that topic, and I will put the link in the upper right-hand corner on YouTube. So now I want to hear from you. How long have you been in no contact, and how is it going? And in the meantime, if you would like my help to get your ex back, you can contact me at theartoflove.net/coaching, and we will send you the rates that are not on the website. The link is underneath every single video and podcast. And we respond to every single email. So if you don't hear from us, we didn't get your email. So either use another email address or you can contact me on my socials. And the links to those socials are on my YouTube underneath every single video. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening to this as a podcast and you want to help the channel, please download this episode. And finally, remember, love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.